connect, serve, and grow is what you can expect at the House of Reconciliation. Leadership, community, education, wellness, and participation is part of our plan for your spiritual growth and success. Family and faith is a core value for the House of Reconciliation, working to help people find their purpose. Want to make an impact in the kingdom? Ready to tap into your future? Meet us at the House Sundays with Pastor Reginald Campbell, www.houseofreconciliation.org.
Buenos días. Dios muéstrame cómo alinear mi vida con tu amor. Quiero mostrar quién eres al mundo que me rodea. Acercarme a ti para que así me parezca más a ti. Enséñame a amar como protegiendo, confiando, esperando y preservando en favor de otras personas. En el nombre de Jesús, amen. Good morning. God, please show me how to align my life with your love. I want to display who you are to the world around me. Draw me closer to you so that way I look like you. I look more like you. Teach me how to love like you by protecting, trusting, hoping, and persevering on my behalf of other people. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Good morning to everyone. Welcome everyone in that is joining us via our virtual campus, and to all of our global partners, and to our Greenwood campus, and here in service at 1427 Suite E, Lawrence Road. Today is our youth financial classes, so they're getting ready to do those. I invite you. I've had various conversations with people that now hopefully we can put a dent in trying to get our youth to understand finances as early as they can. We're going to do our church anthem and go into the word this morning. We're going to talk about lives will close off your creativity. And so it's still a part of Lie to Me, Lie to Me, Lie to Me. Now, one of the things that I am looking for is an actor or an actress that I have a skit that I want to do on Resurrection Sunday, which is April the 9th. And right now we're scheduled to have a joint service with both campuses as well as our virtual campus. And I need someone who's good at theater to help me carry out a particular skit. So if you are interested, I would love for you to reach out to us. I'd be glad to meet with you, talk to you about it, and see what we can do with your level of creativity, as well as what is the vision that I have that I want to do on Resurrection Sunday. Number two, I want to welcome in and thank my good friend Ron Dixon, who is in Atlanta, and his lovely wife. I know he's been watching for a minute, and I saw that you were trying to join the House of Reconciliation group page, so hopefully we've gotten that squared away. So good morning to you in Atlanta, New York, Charlotte, and all across the nation. Our church anthem is, I am the seed that grows and advances the kingdom for soul winning. This word, bread of life, that I received today is not only for me, but to be shared with others, that they may grow in Christ as well as myself for the purpose of successful living. Thank you. You may be seated. I hope that we are waking up as we transition from winter into the spring months, that we are really recharging or getting charged or going through the transition to charge our lives for the spring. One of the biggest things that I would say to people is, what do you have planted that will somewhat bud or come to life in the next 6 weeks? I know we were doing a savings. Some people, I hope many are still are, because it's hard to operate without any substance. So what we were doing, we're talking about having something, whether it was going back to school, whether it was structuring our lives. I know a lot of people do spring cleaning at their home. They do it with their cars. This is the time to get your cars ready early before summer, if you get your ACs and all that done. So because when you try to do it in the middle of the summer, it's going to be rather expensive. And from an economic standpoint, they're saying that we're supposed to front load or hit the mother load of the recession by midsummer. So it's not really a time that people should be radically spending money, especially if you receive the tax refund and things of that nature. This is a time to do as a squirrel, to store away, even though it's going to be hot in other people. But still today, the tech world, the education industry, and many other companies in the automotive industry, people are being laid off. And if you have a particular type of job, no one's safe. Churches are closing, no one's safe. And so what we don't want to happen is that it just hits us in the face and we're not ready.
Come on.
Because things that we have, they are no good to us if they don't bring us any value. Sometimes we're competing with an image in our head rather than the reality of our situation. I've said again, many times we're competing with an image in our head or image that we're trying to hold up before our friends and our peers, and it's not our reality, because none of our peers or our friends can carry us if they are facing similar situations that we are. So I encourage you to get the book, Basic Financial Steps that teach you how to make your money work for you. And the concept that people have is they say, well, when I get money, I'll do it. But most of us are not going to get money. And then if we get money, the other side of us shows up and we're ready to spend the money and do things with the money and not put the money in position to work for us. So this is a tremendous book. I actually was in a meeting on yesterday and I looked it up, and it was number 5 in the top 5 on Google. So go to get the book, Basic Financial Steps, in 240 locations around the world and outlets. So you can Google it. There's Barnes and Nobles. There's Amazon. I saw something on Tubal Warehouse that the book is on, but it's in 240 locations around the world. It is now the time. This is why I am working with kids on developing and understanding piggy banks. And the reason someone asked me yesterday about, well, why do you want them to have a jug or 3 jars? And the whole scope is I want them to see. See, most people don't know how to stack money. So when they see money, the side of spending money comes up, and then they want to spend money. If you can see it and discipline yourself not to touch it, now it has a chance to grow. So if you teach kids early that you've got a penny jar over here, and I think the book that's coming out that I wrote, The Amazing 3 Jars, Aiton's 3 Jars, are books that has 3 jars. 1 savings, 1 sharing, and 1 spending. And most people only have one thing, and that is spending. And if you can teach a kid now, a child now, early in the piggy bank stage, they won't grow up like my friend over here who would not text me back yesterday because they were in their feelings and emotions. And they finally confessed up and said, that's why I didn't contact you, because I was in my feelings yesterday. And so I said, okay, we can get past that now. Any other time, I saw her sending out stuff for the ministry, but she didn't say nothing about what I said. So we'll keep that kind of, private. So every, second and third Sunday, we have youth financial classes here. Love for you to be able to come in and bring your kid. There are a lot of people that are inquisitive about the satellite campus that's here in Greenville. And so they ask about it. And what it is what we're trying to do here. The mother church is in Greenwood, South Carolina, and we put a satellite here. And so what I encourage you, if you're a 50-mile radius around, that is Spartanburg, Anderson, Gaffney, Easley, 6 Mile, Seneca, Malden, Simpsonville, Fountain Inn, Clinton, Lawrence, Taylor's, just stop in once a month. Stop in once a month and show your face, shake my hand. I love to meet you. I've seen that the numbers say that we have a lot of men watching. Just stop in. Just give me 30 minutes, and you're free to go. And let's just meet and greet because we're building a campus here, and there's so many opportunities and so many things that we need. So people ask, what are we? We are a ministry looking for real people who have real issues. And in this climate that we're dealing in, this is critical. Searching for a real God that has real solution. Please, if not now, join us on Resurrection Sunday. That is April the 9th. I mentioned to you about having an actress or actors that in theater. It can be a high school kid because I have a couple things that I want to do to help us be able to prepare for the next level in our lives. I'm the type of leader that doesn't I'm not concerned about where you were, not so much where you're at, but I'm more concerned with where you're supposed to be. In your life, educationally, financially, and spiritually. So people call me a hybrid. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but whatever. So it's not your norm, because when pastors, y'all got another name for me? Yeah, okay. We can't say it. Do I know? Oh, a hybrid or an alien? Which one? A hybrid. Okay. Here's what we're talking about. We did lie to me, lie to me, lie to me, lie to me. All right. And so we're still piggybacking off of that, because I'm trying to take us to what the great Thanos said. For those who watched the Endgame movie, Thanos had one of the most powerful sayings, even though he was a supervillain. One of the most powerful sayings. And so most people, right now, we're kind of in between a storm and a hurricane. And so people are smiling. They're going places. They have activities in their lives, but they're not at peace. They're not balanced within themselves. And so the easiest thing to do is to take substance and try to create balance, when it wasn't the substance that created the imbalance. Sometime in our life, God takes us through journeys and valleys that we're unfamiliar with and literally are unprepared for, not on his end, but on our end. And so then we kind of have a friction with God. I don't understand why, if you love me. It should never be a question about God's love as it is about developing what God has placed in us. Yes. And some days that you and I wake up, we don't wake up to choose to get the best out of us. It's a choice. We don't wake up to get the best out of us. We wake up to swim in the minutia of life. We wake up to deal with the guano that was left on the table. What we read, what we heard, what somebody said, what didn't happen. And so we have all of these other types of spirits. And so sometimes God has to come by and shift our path in order to reawaken our spirit. Because sometimes we're so caught up in tradition and rules. And right now, again, if you're a writer, sight is blinding by what we see. Now, this is what most people never get. What fuels my pain? One thing: lies will close off creativity. What do you mean? The things that are in your life and in my life that are not productive. What she said, what he said, what they did, why they didn't call my name, they left me out, I wasn't selected. All of these things become artery spiritual blockers. So guess what they do? They block you from hearing from God. You've already heard from man. And you're going to take what man said over God's purpose and direction in your life. You're going to let one storm stop you from communicating with God on a continuous basis. This is why the topic today is lies will close off creativity. Here's what happened. Amazingly, many people don't like how they look and who they are. Most people don't. This is why we spend so much on clothes and all these other different things to cover up what we really are. But yet they're very fearful of changing to become something greater and better. What are you saying in lay terms? Things don't make you better. Things have no feelings, no emotions. That's why some people get puppies. Because a puppy just lick you and kiss you. A cat will do different things to you, but a puppy will lick you. A puppy will wag his tail. And what it do, a puppy will make you feel good about yourself even though it doesn't agree with you. And so we like things that agree with us, but don't make us better, if that makes sense. So here's the thing. But yet they're fearful of changing or becoming something or greater or better. How much money is wasted on trying to cover up? A lot. And see, for God to work with us, we have to get back to being authentic. He can only work with what he gave you. Can I make it plain, biblical? What Adam and Eve did to cover themselves in the garden, God could not work with. They tried various things. And so God said, what you have isn't sufficient for what you've done. So many of us have a lot of things that's insufficient for where we're supposed to be going. And one of the most frightful things is to be going on a road thinking you're alone. Nobody else is going through this. Nobody else has walked the path. But what you don't understand, you wouldn't have a road if someone hadn't walked before you. There's a witness out there along your journey that will not encourage you, but will encourage your spirit. Because many people don't preach to people and teach to people that your spirit is under construction. We preach about shoes and clothes and cars and houses and titles and money and stuff. But how many people really talk to you about your spirit is under construction with God? For God is a spirit, and they that must worship him, and not in cloning, not in things, and not. See, things get a reaction from people, but it's your spirit that get a response from God. I'll say it again. Things get a reaction from people. Oh, look at you. Oh, look at your glasses. Oh, look at what you're driving. Oh, look at you. Look at you, Cletus. Look at you, Becky. Look at you. And so the flesh feels good, and yet the spirit stinks. The spirit stinks. So here's what I want to say to you. Number one, we can't cover up. Lies will close off creativity. But here's what I want you to get very calmly this morning. God gave you purpose before he gives you direction. The problem is you're going in the wrong direction because of feelings and emotions, and you're not asking God to help you line up with your purpose. Your purpose is in the bottom of the trash can where you left it. We've been people pleasers. We've been yoke bearers for people. God never told us to bear someone else's yoke. He said, take my yoke. How many people have you tried to get right that still to this day can't get right with themselves? How many years have you given? So here's the thing. God gave you purpose before he gives you direction. Even before we experience pain, God has already given us purpose. Here's the thing. Trust what God has deposited in you. You're not empty. You're not forgotten. You're not forsaken. And so for the women, and I know this is Women Month, and I'm still looking for this and I'm still looking for it. Instead of looking, prepare yourself. Instead of looking for school, male or female, prepare yourself. Instead of wanting a house, prepare yourself to get a house. So here's what happens. When you trust what God has deposited in you, you're going to feel awfully empty. You're going to feel like nobody understands what I'm doing, where I'm going. You're going to have booger snot in your nose sometime. In your car, your feelings going to be all, they won't respond back to you, because their team lost, But anytime else. So why am I saying that? You shouldn't just communicate when things are going well. Even when you're at your lowest point, you should still be an effective communicator, male or female. Anybody, boy, I'm in here today by myself. Okay, all right, thank you, sir. Thank you, Pastor Woke, Here's what it says, and ye shall surely find your way. If you trust what God has deposited into you, but before you can accept his deposit, you got to empty out all that people have told you and said about you. We have to overcome. I think it's John 4:1. You have overcome them, little children. Ask me why that's important. It's in the midst of your pain and in the midst of your failure that God may give you one word or one sentence that you missed because you've closed down the opportunity for receiving. Can I make it plain? He doesn't speak to you when you're on the mountain. Because you up there giggling and jiggling and yeah, whoa, whoa, we won. So God's like, they're not going to listen right now. But in that darkest moment, God will deposit a word or a sentence in your spirit. And it won't match up with your feelings. But it is the igniter for your purpose. Many people refired up their heat this morning. They hit the heat button, but they don't know it's as an igniter that has to send the spark. And so God's not coming to fix it. And ask me why. Because that's what preachers preach to you. Oh, God gonna do it. God's not going out there to get you a job on 5th and 3rd. God's not going out there to get you a job and fill out the application. There you go. You have to show the faith and the substance to do it. And when you fill out that paperwork, you have to have some substance. You can't say, I really want to work here. You got to have some substance. And when you do it, God will ignite it. What did you say? Because you met him and you didn't come as a victim. You came as a believer. You didn't come as a victim. You didn't go, oh, God, they mistreated me, Lord. I don't like what they said. He know what they said. He knew it before they said it. And you still crying about it. So then you can't ignite he can't ignite your purpose when you're still complaining about the people that he's removed you from. Yeah. I felt that one. I'm like a church fan. I need a church fan. Ooh, that hit. Ooh, that kind of hit. Kind of hit me right there. Kind of hit me in the root right there. Pow! That come out of nowhere. He just boom, right there. Yeah, because this is what God does. Because see, here's the thing. When you can't enjoy the life you have, God's not pleased. God's not pleased. And the thing that God is saying to most of us as we go into Resurrection Sunday, now if I get the right system and everybody on point, I'm going to preach Resurrection Sunday. I'm not coming in to teach. I'm going to do about 7 minutes of setting it up, and then I want to go to church for myself. All right? So Resurrection Sunday, because don't get it twisted. I was born to preach it, but I had to learn how to be a teacher. And then I became a hybrid. So don't get it twisted. Yeah, he just be talking. You just don't know sugar. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, you don't know what's in my toolbox. There's a beast in here. Because God is offended. I don't know what they're talking about, y'all. God is offended when you can't leave behind the things that can no longer go with you. God is offended. Ask me why he's offended. It's not the best of you. You're not willing to shed. A butterfly cannot fly with the skin of a caterpillar. And shedding is painful. Because see, you're still trying to get justification than being a part of the revelation. You trying to get even. You trying to prove your point. And God says there's no point to prove. Oh, I wish I could help somebody. There's no point to prove. Well, I want them to know. I heard what she said, but I want her to know. God's like, let that alone. Don't go back, Lot's wife, to give somebody a piece of your mind and try to remember. We hadn't grown past this yet. You know, I'm gonna look up at the ceiling because some of us still striking back. Just don't care what. Every time something comes, you go back to that 12-year-old child. You start having. God says, I cannot take you nowhere. Oh, you said a powerful thing. You what? You have to have the last word. Be who you are, whether you're winning or losing. Yeah, this is some sedation medicine right here this morning. This is some sedation medicine. I didn't know it was going to be like this. I want a pillow. This is some sedation medicine. It's making me think early. We've been together. We ain't even been together that long. Here's what I want to get to. Sight is blinding. When sight and blinding, lies shut down your ability to be creative. Because here's what most people are not understanding. There are parts of your life that the door will not be open. Ask me why. You have to use your gift of creativity that God has given you. There's some levels in your life. It's not going to require your emotions. It's not going to require your intellect and intelligence. It's going to require spiritual intuition, which is generally called spiritual insight and spiritual foresight. So when you start seeing the things spiritually, it's now when you will know how to position your prayer in order to be able to deliver. Because here's what happens to most people. The concept that people are trouble and pain free because of what they possess. Sight is blind. Well, look at them. They got 3 brand new vehicles, and look at them. Look at their house, and look at them. They've got companions and spouses, and look at them. They've got jobs. And you don't know how broke up, how messed up, how dysfunctional they are. And so you shut down because you're in development, and you start looking at someone else's stuff. The Bible gives us proof. David said, I looked at the wealth of the wicked, and my foot almost slipped. Because you're wishing for something that is not designed for you, because they're living in a glass house and God is trying to build a foundation with you that's beyond a glass house. Because we have immediate gratification behavior when we need to have delayed gratification, long-term vision. So here's what happens. We can't be consumed, watch this, with others' issues or challenges or problems and never pay attention to our own. I'll say it again. We can't be consumed. Well, girl, what's going on? Man, I heard this and I saw it. What you think? And none of y'all got the answer to the situation. That you done use all your energy to be nosy, messy, and gossipy. You've got one half of a sentence. One half of a sentence. and missing the whole concept, narrative, missing the whole paragraph. I'll say it again. We cannot be so consumed with others' issues, challenges, and problems and never pay attention to our own. And here's the kicker. They don't pay you for your opinion or to handle their mess. So why you in it? People worried about the kind of house you live in. Tell them to leave a mortgage payment in the mailbox. They worried about the kind of car you drive. Tell them you'll take a car note. Do I know? More? Yeah, they worried about you. Pay the taxes. If you can't take my pain and pay my bills, stay out my life. Because here's what people will do. They will make you think they're transitioning and they're not. Now, I heard someone say this, and I think this is critical. Please write this down. Preparation will trump pressure. Why is that significant? The next level you're going to, it's going to be somewhat kind of misty, and you're going to have to be prepared. Your emotions, your smiles is not going to get you or me to this next level. What's going to get us there is preparation. The problem with most people is they want to receive it before they prepare. So then after I receive it, now I want to go and be prepared. That's not how it works. I want you to, if you don't get anything else this morning, get the pre-ingredients. Right? I try to cook a little bit every now and then, and what I've done is fix some stuff, prepare some stuff, and then turn around and be like, it don't taste right. You know why? You left out 4 of the ingredients. And it doesn't come to you until you finish. And you're sitting there trying to eat that oatmeal, and what? Well, you didn't put all the ingredients where they needed to be. You just got started. You can't get the results that you want if you don't do the pre-prep work. You don't have time to be talking to people about stuff that doesn't help. So here's the thing. Live with an understanding that 99% of your surroundings will doubt and be negative about you, your seeds, your goals, your dreams, and your vision. Ask me why. You don't know? That's the Cain and Abel spirit. What did Cain do? He didn't prepare. He just threw something together, and then he took it a step farther. He killed his brother. There are people, when you are preparing, that will come along who's close to you, and they will try to kill your influence or kill your name out. So Cain killed Abel because Abel did the prep work. And when you do the prep work, there ain't nobody, go. Give me a little bit. Can you give me a little bit? Go. You know, everybody all pumped up. You ain't got no gas in the car. You ain't got no tires on the car. In fact, you ain't got no keys, but you're just pumped up, just ready to go. And Abel said, let me slow down. Let me go over here and let me think through what God said to me. Let me dissect when God said, bring me a sacrificial offering. You bringing God every bill you got. Here you go, Jesus. They say you's a miracle worker. I'm looking for a miracle, Jesus. Jesus, like, get out of my face. Because is that not what we preach? And so Abel. Because I was talking with someone, they were sharing with me. I said, now these are bishops. You're at the top of the pyramid. You're at the top of the food chain, and you gonna kill your brother and try to get souls saved on Sunday? And so I couldn't understand it. And so
This morning when I awakened at 4:30 a.m., God said, Cain and Abel. I said, well, they didn't call me because I was just waking up. He said, no, Cain and Abel. I said, okay, I don't understand. They both had the same assignment. But they both didn't prepare the same way. And so when your steps are ordered by God, see, lies will cut off creativity. So Abel stayed clear, clean, and free of the noise. He didn't collaborate, watch out, with Cain. He worked in silence. And when he stepped out, it spoke volumes. Always watch the people who making noise. Oftentimes there's no authentic substance behind it. Watch all the thrills and emotions and the movement and the whatever. You ain't said nothing. Did anybody understand? Speak to me. So it can move my spirit. Does this make sense? Because people stimulate you to get a reaction. God pours in you so you can respond. People stimulate you so they can get a reaction because now you all happy and excited. Don't mean you know what you're doing. But when you get a response, now it grows in you to grow through you to grow out of you. So now may the works I've done, because I took the Abel approach and not the Cain approach. Because remember, live with the understanding that 99% of your surroundings will be negative. Why? Because they're stuck in what was and what isn't, and they are afraid to embrace the power of transition to transformation. The little white lies. I'm going to give you these 5 things and we're done. The little white lies we tell ourselves is called the grasshopper mentality. I gave these out on Wednesday, but I feel give the audience these on Sunday. The first lie to me is lie to me about who I am. You're more than your daddy's or your mama's last name. There's a lineage in your family that God poured into. And most of your lineage that God has poured into, you don't like or hadn't discovered. It's called your innate inheritance. So you haven't discovered you, but yet you have consumed people that don't know you. And every time you wake up, you have problems with people. Sometimes it's not the other person. You just with the wrong person. Because they don't agree with your spirit. Can I talk to you here? Am I making sense? This is the time to ask questions. I'm almost finished at 9:30, so you need to play that song right now. I'm going to take these 10 minutes and put this in you. Who am I? I got to be above my team losing. No, you laughing. My team lost. Supposed to have one of the best kickers in college football. I see the Michigan people over there looking. And when the pressure came against Georgia, somehow the ball went the wrong way. But I didn't get mad. I texted the Georgia fans and said, good one. I didn't make excuses. I said we lost our teeth. We lost our grit. Number 2, lie to me about my dreams, visions of my life. Listen, I'm glad because your dreams, your vision for your life is going to upset people. It upset Cain. It upset Joseph's brothers. Your dreams, when you start talking about what God has deposited in you or what you feel like you need to birth, You're going to get, nah. You're going to get it because they lie to you about your dreams. So what they do is they want to cookie cut you. And you have a child that's gifted, but because you didn't understand your gift, you can't understand their gifts. So then you don't know how to cuddle them. You don't know how to develop them because they tell you A, B, and C. Okay, so that's A, B, and C. But how many letters are there in the alphabet? How many? So why are you stuck on 2 when there are 24 more? That your child or your grandchild could be. And so everything that comes out of your mouth when you get that diagnosis is, well, he can't do this or she can't do that. Well, you talk about what they can't do. Have you ever discovered what they... I got to let that one soak in. Because what you're doing is manipulating your child to your pain. And because you scared mama and you scared daddy, you don't know how to support your kid who may be different and gifted because of your own insecurities. I will never let my grandchildren go through what I went through because people didn't know how to handle my gifts and talents. So everything came out of their mouth was what you can't do, and it was negative. And the only thing people could say is, don't get the big head, don't get the big. It ain't the big head. It's, can you help me? Can you help me get the tools, mama? Will you have my back, daddy? Because I'm still a child and I need your support. But because of your own insecurities, you got stuck on the C, the K. You let people measure your children by the pigment of their skin and not by the content of their ability and the cognizance of their gifts. You just, well, you know, they say you know it. So they push all of you back in a corner. Lie to me about my dreams. Young men, young women, you've assumed the personality that's not you. You've assumed the behavior that's not you. And the problem is your gifts don't fit in your community. Because nobody around you are doing what you... It's not that they don't have it, but they've fallen to the consumption of the opinion of other people. Yes. And went from a community and lost the ability of a neighborhood to be negative about themselves. Number 3, lie to me about my spiritual birthright. What does that mean? I mean, you don't need to go to church. You don't need. No, I don't come to church. I come to worship God and I come to hear a word from God. Yes. And I know for those that are biblically analytical and they're like, well, he didn't give a scripture and he didn't give a text this morning and he didn't tell you. But everything I've told you was Bible. Lie to me about my spiritual birthright. Lie to me that I cannot overcome and get up from my failures and get up from my pain. Lie to me that when I take my innate ability and I match it up with my spiritual birthright, I am a powerful spirit in God. Does this make sense? Number 4, lie to me about my independence. What do you mean? Well, my daddy worked on the farm and my mama worked on the farm, so I guess I'm supposed to be a farm worker. Lie to me about the creativity that God has given me, but nobody can support my creativity. They see you playing the church piano, but they don't see you playing to the world. Oh, I wish I could help somebody. They say you play. Don't nobody in our family play no violin and play no oboe. Because sometimes your parents don't understand the gifts that God has placed in you. You are not like them. You are a different version of them.
I'm just. There's somebody out there sitting on the couch, someone in Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Great Britain, London, England, Vietnam, Iran. There's somebody out there in Canada, Australia, that I just need you to chime in and say, when you get a chance, and say, thank you for the word. Number 4, lie to me about my independence. Because what people will do will take you and make you mindless and put you in their system. And you're always uncomfortable, so then you never will have financial stability because it is your gift that makes room. And when your gift makes room, your finances has to increase. Does this make sense? Number 5, lie to me. Lies will close off my creativity to discover and develop who I am. So those that want a biblical narrative, it comes out of John, the 8th chapter, around verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And as we get ready to head to Resurrection Sunday, here's what I say, 2 things. We have to stop running from the reset in our lives. Number 1. Number 2, as we go to Resurrection Sunday, don't walk in fear. Ask God to help you walk in purpose. I'll say it again. We got to stop running from a reset. Don't walk in fear. Walk in purpose. God bless you. I'll see you soon. Number 5. Do I know? All right.